Hi guys.
Hi.
How's everyone doing?
Great.
Great? That's what I like to hear. Okay, I hope you guys all got your lunch. Hope you guys enjoyed the lunch today. Should be good. So, just a quick overview of what we're going to do today. So, turns out we're almost done with all of our stuff in React. What we're going to do today is we're going to briefly review what we've done so far in terms of our architecture, and then we're going to go over what's called front-end routing, which is going to help you guys make pages on your React apps with different URLs, but still routing through React. And then what we're going to do is Shannon's going to run through how we rewrote Catbook in React. Now, note, the Catbook that we've written in React, the backend is still like on the old stuff, so we had to make a few adjustments so it's not as reactive. We'll go over that together. But again, I wouldn't recommend you like take that to face value, as in just look at it as an example of how React can work with multiple components, but don't like directly copy code over, just because Catbook is kind of complicated and there's a lot of like old stuff in there that kind of pollutes the reactiveness of the entire thing. I'll say another note. Yesterday, what I did is I still have lo-fi beats going. I'm gonna kill lo-fi beats. Okay, so yesterday what I did is I pushed a skeleton for React. Did everybody see that? It's on Piazza. But essentially what I've done is I've removed all the components and backend logic for a bare bones React app, and you guys can like download that and use it to start. Yeah, it says spook on it. That was Shannon, not me. And you guys are free to download that and use that in your own projects if you'd like. It has no components in it except like the app and root component, okay? Cool. And then after that, if you have time, we're gonna pull that React skeleton, maybe build something together, okay? Cool. All right, awesome. So that's the brief overview today. Let's dive right into it. So, what is going on in our entire architecture? I'm loving the feedback that you gave us on our forum. Someone requested that we kind of go over how this whole React thing plays through and what our app actually looks like right now, right? So, we can all see that we have this Express server going on, right? And this Express server has been around since the beginning of 1.4.8, so it's kind of just been there. And it serves our API, and it deals with our backend. And then what it really does is it sends this file called index.html to the front end. So we're not in React land yet, right? We've learned this yet already. It was Express sends a file called index.html, and inside index.html, if you look in the React skeleton or any React app, you'll see that it includes this script in a script tag called bundle.js. Okay, now Shannon talked to us very briefly the first workshop she did with you guys, but essentially bundle.js is a JavaScript file that Webpack makes for us. Right, and that holds all of the JavaScript in our code in one little place, which is really nice, right? You can just import one script, and that's all you need. And of course, inside bundle.js, we're included with a file called index.js. Now this is where we enter React world, okay? Because index.js then calls render on a component called app. And now you guys are all familiar with app, right? App is the highest React component, and then app calls render on everything below it. Right, and then it just renders out the tree. Okay? Do we kind of see where we are now? So of course on the other side of Express, there's things like our database, right? And authentication and all that, but I bundled all that into the back end, right? Remember, React is a front end kind of thing. So we really just care about the stuff this way. Okay? So past app, we have components like game container and row and cell and all that kind of good stuff. Okay, cool. Are there any questions on that so far? Is there a question stop going? No, there isn't? Okay, well, I guess you guys are stuck talking to me. So if you have questions, please do raise your hand. I don't quite, I promise. Okay, so hopefully this is a little more clear. If you guys have more questions on that, I'm happy to answer them. So what are we doing before, right? Let's do a brief recap of how routing has been done in previous apps, right? So in Express, we have this idea of these endpoints, right? And then when you get slash, it returns index.html. When you get profile, it will return profile.html. Does everyone remember this? Can you give me a thumbs up or thumbs on how we got this part? Okay, good. So we're going to switch that up a little bit today. Okay? So before, here's what we have, right? Your front end, your Chrome browser is like, hey, I want profile, right? And it says, Express, give me profile. Express is like, all right, got it. Here's your profile, all right? And then it's like, oh, JK, I want index, right? And then Express is like, oh, all right, I got you. Here's the index, right? Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to route everything through this thing called React Router. Okay, and React Router allows us to do all this like React, like this routing stuff on the front end, right? So what it does is it doesn't actually get anything different from the server. So now when you get profile, React Router is like, hey, don't worry, I got this. Just give me index.html, right? Because remember, if we go back to our architecture, right? Index.html is where all our React stuff kind of lives, right? So if you want to use React Router, you have to return index.html. So React Router is like, hey, I know how to deal with profile, right? When I have a request for profile, just give me index.html and I'll deal with the rest. Like I'll render it for you, right? So now, when we have React routes, what we do is no matter what the route is, if it's under our React router, what we want to do is always return index, okay? And then React router has some special syntax that says, hey, if the URL says profile, render this component. If the URL says slash, render this component. If the URL says shish kebab, render this component, right? It doesn't matter. But it can decide which component to render based on the URL stuff. And this is actually really helpful to us because now we're not contacting the server to give us different files, right? React takes care of all that for us, which means all that rendering goes on front end, which is good for us. If you want to read more about why this philosophy is better for us, I included a link on the slides. This is a pretty good article, although it's a little bit older, but it does kind of go over the philosophy of why we care about front-end routing. I suggest you go check it out if you have time. So, do you really need React routing? Well, the answer is no, not really. But remember, if you go back to our like component hierarchy from a few slides ago, you'll see that there was like index.html, then bundle, right, and then index.js, and then. So if you want to use express routing, what you need to do is you need a new HTML file with a separate bundle imported to each one, right? Because each one needs to have its own like React environment now, right? So this is why we use React Router, because now we just need one index.html, and all of our React goes through that. So it's convenient, basically, right? And it helps a lot. But if you're really adamant about using express routes, it will make your life harder. But there are tutorials on how to do it. You can feel free to check those out as well. Okay, so let's get all caught up. Why don't you guys do a git pull on Snake React, right? And check out complete day 2 and do an npm install. Just so we're on the same page, I added some new code yesterday, so you want to make sure that's all good. Yes, Ryan? Okay, the new questions doc is up, so you can go to weblab.to/questions. You no longer need to interact with me. But that being said, does anyone have any questions on what we've covered so far? So React Router can be a bit confusing, but we're going to kind of dive into the syntax, and hopefully that'll make it a little more clear about what we're doing. Is everybody kind of on the same page right now? I hope so. You guys made it all the way to the second last day. I'm proud of you guys. Great work. I made it the second last day. I'm proud of myself. All right, go ahead and get that poll. Once you're done, you guys can look up at me so I can know that you're done, and then we'll move on together. So some of the feedback we got yesterday was that our workshops were moving slightly too slow. So what I'm going to try to do today is I'm going to try to move a little bit faster, so we have more time at the end to do more fun things like build our own apps. But if I'm ever going too fast, just raise your hand and let me know, like, Alex, I don't know what we're doing, and then I'll make sure to it, okay? Cool. Can I get a thumbs up on whether you guys have pulled it? Okay, good. We'll see what's up. All right. So we're going to move on. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a new component now. All right. So today's objective is we're actually going to make a page called rules. Okay. And this is going to live under a URL called localhost 2000/rules or 5000 if you're on here. That's right. So /rules is where it's going to live. Now what I want you to do is I want you to just turn to a partner around you, and you guys have made so many React components in the past few days. So just make a new React component called game_rules. Okay. And if you want to center it, you can set the class name to center. I wrote that for you guys, okay? And go ahead and give that a try. I don't care what you put in your rules for now. Just, stick whatever you want in, right? It's your playground, your sandbox. Make a rules component for yourself, and then I'll give you guys a few notes for that. So turn to your friend, because I know, making React components can be confusing sometimes. So get that through, and then we'll check back in a few minutes, okay? mine. Any questions?
Hey Alex, where's bundle.js in the Snake app?
Man, don't like sorry. I haven't eaten yet. Okay. Right here. Well, and that's not HTML. You guys see? Bundle. Right. So bundle is actually right next to it. It's right there. Right. Important to know. Bundle is made by Webpack, right? So you don't write it. Webpack makes it for you. All you need to do is include it as a script in index, right? And then bundle includes this guy, this index.js, which renders this guy, which then renders everything else. Yeah? Increase font size? I'd be happy to. What the? Okay, can I not increase the font size? How do you increase the font size? What? What? No way, dude. I refuse to believe that. Zoom. This is garbage. Command equals. Wait, what? Oh. What? I'm bad. Alright. Wait, what? You're trolling me. Alright. Sorry. Here. Are you ready for this? This is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. I promise. Alright, it's gonna be insane. It's gonna be insane. It's gonna be insane. Oh no. Alright, can you see that better? Is that better? Alright. We'll go through it one more time. So, index right here, that contains a script tag, that contains bundle. And remember, bundle is made by Webpack, so you don't make it. And then bundle includes, well, when it generates, right, it has all of index.js in it, which calls render on this guy. Sorry, I tried to make it bigger. Is this big enough? Can you guys see that? Yeah, I see some like nods, some like, alright. Yeah, alright. Cool, alright. Yeah, so now there's going to be a slide on my presentation, I guess. If you weren't at a lecture, you're going to have to like go through the slides and see this really quiet. Okay. How are people doing on that component? Does everybody get like the made the file at least? Yeah. Files are made. I hope so. Give you guys a few more moments for that. Yeah, don't worry if you haven't finished. We're all go over together. My component looks pretty bad, so it's chill. I think this is what my here. Okay, like sure. Just don't break your code. It's so easy. Don't give it any edge cases. Wait, we have until 2, right? Hey guys, okay, so let's see. So I'm gonna move on, right? Don't worry if you haven't finished yet. I'll show you my component. It's very, very simple. Rules are good. These are rules. Cool, right? So basically we have a constructor, right? And then inside render, right? Remember, you always need to extend React component right at the very top. And then inside my return, I just have some stuff inside a div with class name center, right? Like I told you guys. And you guys might notice this game title. Remember we made game title yesterday? You guys remember? Yeah, so the reason we made that is because we want to show you guys that React components are very reusable, right? So you can use this game title wherever you want. So say there's a bunch of pages on your website that each need a game title, right? It's a great idea to make a game title component and just stick it wherever you want, right? And just show up automatically. It's magical. And then I just put rules are good, these are rules. Yeah? Are there any questions on how I made this component? You've seen this before, right? It's a pretty classic component. Nothing too special about it. I see some people still typing, so I'll give you guys like a few more minutes to get this all down. Don't worry if it doesn't say rules are good, these are rules. I don't care what it says. As long as they're your own rules. That's what matters. You know. Yes? You have to either one, whether.
I mean, like,
Yeah, it's we'll be fine. Fun fact, Shannon and I were fixing Catholic up until now. It's kind of rude. But you guys will enjoy it. Oh, while you guys are working, just a quick note on React apps and just your apps in general. I don't recommend you guys like start off of Catbook, for example.
no.
Like, as in, so Catbook has a lot of code, right? And if you copy code over it, like, it's gonna pollute your code base, you know what I mean? So be very careful about, like, it's okay to copy code from Catbook, but don't clone the Catbook repository and make your app off of Catbook. Does that kind of make sense? And this is just speaking from experience with seeing a lot of teams. Like there was one team last year where their like site linked to Catbook. Like you click somewhere, and just go Catbook. And I was like, oh. So just keep that in mind. Just as general advice, like do what you want. The same thing applies for Snake, right? Great app. I wrote Snake, it's great. But you know, might not be the best starting point for your app. I would recommend you clone the skeleton instead. Okay, we're gonna move on. So if you haven't caught up, it's fine. You can just check out step 5. If you have caught up, but you may have caught it, don't worry about it. We talked about too much in the past few days, but you can do a quick checkout if you'd like. And now we made a component, right? But it's not. It's kind of just floating in space. We haven't really accessed it anywhere, right? So what we need to do now is we need to make sure we can access this component when we go to /rules, right? Because the router doesn't really know yet that we want to show rules when we go to /rules. Oopsies. So the solution is we're going to use React Router. So if you open up app.js on your computers, you'll see some code similar to this, right? Everybody see this code? Yeah. Oh, cool. I see some nods. Wow, you guys are so hyped today. All right. So yes, you see this code. So it's very simple syntax actually. You remember all that like garbage with like res.send, res.get, and all that garbage. Yeah. So you just have to do this. Right? So you put a route. Okay. You put what path you want to put in. Okay, and then you send what component you want to send. Okay, that's it. All right. Voila, right? Now, just a quick side note, you can replace the component with render. So you can do render equals something and put in a render function. So that works too. In fact, Catbook uses that, I think, instead. But either is fine, right? If you can, just stick in a component. So I stick in game container when we open /, right? And that's why you guys see a Snake game when you open localhost 5000. So why don't you guys try with a partner to try to make rules show up when you do /rules. Okay? So give that a try. Any questions on the question doc? No, it's not popping. Okay. Not popping. Alright. Yes?
Can you just put it under the same switch?
Yes, you can. Yeah, so good question. So you just kind of stick it under here, right? So you just list all your routes here. All right, yeah. It's pretty dope. I love React Router. It's great. Yeah, I know, right? It's awesome. You can just stick it in there. React is so declarative. You kind of just like stick things places and then it's like, whoa, it works. Life is so easy. Okay, is everybody kind of there? We're going to move on a little bit now. So I'm on low battery. Oh no. Oh dear. Okay, so this is what you should have. What's my time over? This is probably something that you should have seen, right? Did everybody get something similar to this? And just pattern match over it. Great, you guys are React Router masters already. Let's see. But remember, right? Like /rules. Right now our Express server, when you go to /rules, it doesn't know what to return yet, right? Because we didn't really tell it, like, hey, when you go to /routes, React Router, or sorry, /rules, React Router can handle that. right? So it doesn't really know yet that we should return index.html when we go to /rules. So what we need to do is we need to go into app.js, the other one, right? So your server app.js, the lowercase app.js. What we want to do is we want to enter this line. And what does it do? Well, it says, okay, well, when we go to /rules, right? When we go to /rules, we just want to return index.html, just like we talked about earlier, right? Because, again, React Router is going to handle this for us. So all we need to do is just return index.html. So go ahead and type that in. Now, you might notice that this /rules is in like a list syntax, right? There's like a list here. So say you have another path called /profiles, right? You just stick it in, comma, /profiles. Right? And now Express knows, and it says, all right, if I get /profiles, I'll just spit index.html back at you. That's what you told me to do. Sounds good to me. And then React Router will take over. Great. So it's important to know the kind of order that we're doing this in, right? So first, the Chrome browser sends a request to your Express server, right? And Express server says, okay, what should I return? In this case, it says, I'll return index.html. And if it returns index.html, then we can use React Router, right? But this step needs to get in there first. Does everybody follow that? Cool, cool, cool. I see some nods. Feel free to ask questions. You guys are stuck. I just found Colin, your shirt's interesting. You know, they packaging up so small. You know, it's interesting. Yes?
Do we not have an app.get just slash?
You do. You do, and it's inside your directory. I'm going to show you what it is right now. And it actually, let's see here. So app.js. Where is it? Oh yeah. So this thing. Okay, so by default, what app will return on slash is index.html. Express just knows this, right? And all you need to do is tell it, hey, this is where index.html is located. Okay, so we did this first week. So, sorry, I know that's really small. But it says app.use express.static public path. And that actually just points to dist in this case. And it returns that index.html file. So, yeah, sorry, that's super small. I really wish I could zoom in on this. But it won't let me. So, all right, back up. Super good. All right. Oh, so small. Oh, now it's too big. Right now it's oh my, it's so pixelated. All right, and I caught the A, but it's fine. You can see app.use express.static public path, right? And that's what sends back index.html. That's a good question. Cool.
Question.
Yes.
What does the exact mean?
In router, yeah, good question. So if the exact keyword says, okay, only if it matches this path exactly. Okay, so if you take out the exact, what will happen is slash profile slash foo slash shenanigans will also match because it starts with slash. Okay, so to get an exact, it just starts with. Yes?
What's the purpose of the switch?
The switch is React syntax for saying we're going to switch between these components. Okay, and we're going to pick one and render that one based on the route. Okay, yeah, so it's just like kind of like a switch statement in Python or like in JavaScript, right? Similar to that. Wow, I'm loving these questions. Great work, guys. So we're going to move on. So why don't you guys go and run npm run dev and npm start and open up localhost 5000 /rules and tell me what you guys see. Yes? Yeah. How does index.html know to go to app.js? The big one, the component, or the server-side one?
So you said the express default is
Yeah.
then how does it know to look at the
Yeah, great. So in actuality, what happens? I'm going to change out this really fast. Well, I'll be right back. Okay. So what happens here is, you guys remember this thing right here, right? So index.html. This is where we're at right now, right? And it includes this file called bundle.js. Okay, bundle.js includes index.js. And then under app.js is where all the routing happens, right? So this is the connection. It's a little long, but it exists. Right. So it's really just a bunch of JavaScript that index by each moments. Yeah. Where are we? Are we over here? No. Are we over here? We're here. Okay. Did anyone successfully see a page when the slash rules? Yes. You didn't? Yeah. You did. You did. You did. It did.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Oh nice.
Is that what's happening?
No. Did I put in the proxy for them? Did you guys all get there? Oh, some of you guys did. Are you checked out on the right branch? Okay. Well, anyways, you're not supposed to get there. Dang, I just completely ruined my point. The point is you're supposed to get this. Did anyone get this? Alright, nice. Alright. So the reason we get this is because actually what happens is when we go to localhost 5000 /rules, where does it send your request? Which server?
Dev server.
The dev server, right? Localhost 5000 is your dev server. Does that have a route for rules? No, it doesn't, right? It just sends stuff to it. You might have checked out something else. But we're gonna fix that. I promise we'll fix it. And that's probably why you can access yours, which is good. But what happened is we can't get rules because we don't have a route for it in the dev server. And note, this is only a problem when we're developing, right? Because that's the only time we're using the dev server. So the go around is, okay. So if you go to 3000, it should work. And that's because when you go to 3000, we're sending requests to our Express server now, right? So I know it's really small, we'll zoom in a second. But this is your webpack.config.js file. So I want you guys to all open that up right now. At the very bottom, you'll see a little screen that says, a little thing that says proxy, okay? And what that means is, hey, you know what? When you go to this route on your dev server, just forward it to 3000. You know, don't go to 5000, just forward it to 3000. And then what the dev server will do will be like, oh, okay. So once I get /rules, I'm going to forward that to localhost 3000 /rules and return that.
What file are you in right now?
Webpack.config.js. Yeah, it's a bit of a mouthful, but why don't we open that up and take a look together, right? So we can see that you should only have the first line, right? So we're going to have all of the first line. Webpack.config.js. Take you guys a moment to find that file. It should be in the top level directory, right? And you can look down, and has anyone found the proxy object on the bottom? Yeah, I see some nods. Yeah? Okay. And you should see the first line. Is everybody there? I'm going to move forward, but if not, you can get help from your friends. And you can see that this /API should already exist. And this is because, by default, I've written into your Webpack config that you should always forward /API, right? Because your API is going to live on your server. But in this case, you also need a forward /rules, right? Because it needs to get to your Express server. Does everybody understand this idea of forwarding? Yes? No. You shouldn't have like but what will be happening is maybe you have some small syntax error somewhere, and it's just like didn't render your components correctly. So maybe someone from staff could help. Just take a look at that. Does everybody understand this idea of proxying from 3000 to 5000? Or sorry, 5000 to 3000? Right. So what you need to do is basically every time you make a route that needs to hit the server somehow, we just need to add it here. That's all we need to do. Okay? So I know today is a lot of configs, but I promise it'll help. So now once you've added that, try again. Go to localhost 5000 /rules, and we'll see what happens. Yes? Okay, can someone help Chen? This is because do you run your server?
I think so.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Do you have to proxy to localhost 3000 /rules or just localhost 3000?
It should just be localhost 3000. anyone successfully gotten this? Yeah? Yeah, you? Okay. Who has not gotten it and is like having issues? Oh man. Okay, that's bad. Can somebody tell me what's going on? We can debug it. What's going on? Can I get rules? Okay. Oh yeah, did you restart your server? So, is the server running Node 1 or Node? If it's running Node, you can restart your server.
It's not on.
Maybe you missed a syntax error somewhere. So let's go over slowly. So what we're gonna do is let's go this together, okay? Because this part can be a little bit confusing. So what we're gonna do is let's go over together. Okay. Where am I on? What's that? Cool. Okay. So what we should see is, remember we need to go to, so I have a game rules thing, right? What's all going on? Check it out this one here. You're good? Okay, so can you guys see the screen, or is it too small? You guys kind of can. You know what, I'm gonna open the slide. Good. Okay, so. Okay, so if you open up webpack.config.js, right? What we want to do is we want to proxy /rules to HTTP 3000. Okay, and then we have. So we got a capital for now. So yeah, so we cannot get /rules is because we already done the thing with the server yet. So we want app, right? Kind of this thing. And then here we type app.use. What was the file name again? Oops. Sorry, I'm like spamming you guys with my bad desktop notes. So, right, so we gotta copy this line in, right? So what do we got? App.get rules, right? And then you do a rec, and you do a res, and then you do this thing, and then you got some shenanigans, you do a res.send file, path.join, public path. What is happening? I didn't restart my server. That is steps. This is why I try to live code in front of you guys, because I always feel.
Try restarting it.
Okay. Well, I'm failing. Did anyone successfully get it here? People are still, who's still having trouble? Okay. So sorry, we did this workshop last night and it worked fine.
Wait, there's a slash right
What?
Where you're at right now, there's a slash.
Yeah,
There's,
a slash.
oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Good catch, good catch. Thanks, guys. There we go. So it's just a blank screen. Well, because I don't know, Jeff. Should have a branch. Oh yeah, I didn't put it here. I forgot what steps I need. So yeah, so we need to do exact path, right? appreciate you guys coding with me. Component equals game rules. Nice. Nice. Okay, so we're here. Did everybody follow how I got here? So I know it was a little fast. If you're still having trouble, Stab's gonna come around and help you right now. But if you're done, what we're gonna do next is we're gonna try to add a button to React Snake that's gonna take you home. Okay? So why don't you guys give that a try right now, and then we'll catch up everybody who's having issues because my workshop's bad. If you're having trouble, can you raise your hand, please? I'll come help.
Here, yeah. I'm actually a potato. Great. Emily did it. Emily, but But just with basically the front end, so you're not really classified as a slash and local front end. And it's like, I can't actually insert it because it says, okay, I never class a slash, then I just need to forward it. Yes, so we're testing, like once you deploy it, actually, we're testing. Deploy means like once it's actually running on a server, not your own computer, because we don't have our front end server. Okay, so that we can put it on. That's all it's doing. Otherwise, it's not when you actually deploy, it will not change the code that it's actually giving to you. It doesn't need to always refresh and make it change. Why they will always put it. So anyone else is helping?
No, just do it once. And you all, and then like when you run the back gesture, then just do it back. Yeah.
Because then you don't get any browser. Is anyone still stuck? You guys are all good over here? You guys are all good? Oh, wow, that's great. All right, sounds good. Okay. Is anyone stuck over here? You guys are still stuck. Oh, yeah. It just refreshes your cache. Okay, everybody else is good now? People are feeling better? Okay, we're gonna move on for now. Okay, sorry for that brief hiccup, guys. There were just a lot of random issues that I didn't anticipate running into. But you guys should all have gotten some kind of rules thing now, right? So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add some buttons. And what we're going to do is, in React Router, when you want to add a button, you might think you just do like a go to this link, right? Like in JavaScript, you do like window.location, which changes the URL and then reloads the page. Right? But we're in React, we don't want to reload the page. That's just a waste of time. It's a waste of energy, waste of time. It's not good for us. Right? So we can use this thing called link. Okay, and what link does? Okay, so very important. Link can only be used to route within your own app. Right? So say you want to direct to Google, right? You want to go to google.com. Don't use link. Because link only will go push you to a different React route and won't push you to like a different web page. Does that kind of make sense? So in your auth, like your auth buttons, right? Do you want to use link or do you want to use an anchor? Do you want to use like this like React syntax to go to like /auth/Google? No, you don't. Right? You should not. Because that's only routing within your React app. It's a front-end thing, right? You don't want that. So, only for within front-end, but in this case you're doing /rules, so it's going to be used link. Okay. Does that make sense to everybody? So go ahead and add, yes?
So it's linked like a div, but it has the extra like property of 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, very much. It has an extra property of 2, and you can give it a class name just like anything else. I have defined a button for you guys that you can put in. So feel free. You can also steal this button for your own styles and your own projects, by the way. Though, you know, I'm not a designer. You should ask Jessica if the button looks ugly or not. Probably looks ugly. But, Cody, let's try. And then what I want you to do is I want you to add another link on the home page that links back to rules. Right? So this one, oh wait, check it. This is going to home page. Can you add a button to rules that links back to home page? So what this button does is it adds a button on home page which links to the rules, right? So what if you want to go on rules and you're like, I change my mind, I want to go back to home page, right? So we need to add another link, right? So why don't you guys go ahead and try that right now for a few minutes. It should be very similar syntax to what we've seen here. And the point is that React is supposed to be easy to write. And as always, raise your hand if you need help. Yes. It should, are you on? Yeah. Yeah.
So why do you have that?
Yes.
For most people,
So they don't have. Yeah, I just shoot everything.
I think what's it? I think Emily just had it.
Right.
We should always have it.
Yeah.
We're adding links. Yeah. We'll add it next week. Right, so you guys have any issues, you should run npx webpack. So you guys remember what npx webpack does? It builds bundle.js for us, right? If you don't have bundle.js, you can't do anything in React, right? Because then it won't import the correct stuff. Okay. Yes? That's a really good question. So the question was, why are we using link here? And why on yesterday's workshop, we added a button that was like start, right? And that one was like some like on-click, like set state shenanigans, right? And the reason is because link actually changes the URL for us, right? And it goes into the router, and that renders a new component. Whereas the on-click, what it do? It changed the state, right? And that state didn't change the link. So there's two ways to show different components in React, right? You can route it to the router, or you can hold some kind of state that says, hey, which page are we currently on, right? And that's why React is so good at single-page apps. Because you can just literally hold a state on which page you're on, right? And just go through all the pages, right? Instead of having to do one at each, like URL thing above. Do you have a question or do you need help?
Yeah, which one's better? Would you rather use link or state?
Yeah, so would we rather use link or state? And the answer is it depends on the structure of your app, right? For example, profile, right? You would really want someone to have a profile link, right? So you can send that to places, right? Whereas like the difference between homepage and the game, right? You should go to homepage first before you get to game, right? So if you go to slash, you should first get to homepage. There should be no way for you to get to game without first going to homepage. So it really depends on what you're linking to, is the answer to that. Any other questions? These are great. Cool. How many of you have successfully gotten some buttons up on our website? Oh yeah, good job. Good job, good job. Awesome. Cool. So, right, so, oh, I didn't get the answer on here. Oops. Rip me. So, basically what we see is, right, so, under game rules, right, so in here we just have a link that goes to slash, right? And everything else is the same, except it says hold. And this is so easy, right? This is so easy. We don't even have to deal with any like back-end routing or anything like that. We just like clear the route on the front end and it's done. Right? And that makes our lives a lot better, and that's why we love React Router. So that's it. You created Snake, right? You're done. And if you were here yesterday, we went over some of the logic that we went over for Snake, right? The back-end stuff, but that's all very simple JavaScript, right? It's none of this like complicated React stuff. You guys implemented the front end basically all on your own. Right? Like I added like one or two styles here and there to make your lives prettier, but not really, right? So that concludes us creating Snake. You can go and have fun with it. Again, Shan and I have put up oh, you can check out Master if you're, check out Complete, not Master. Well, I'm a hot mess today. So you want to check out Complete, right? And then, great work, you're done, awesome, and we finished 4 minutes late. But you guys have finished creating the front end for Snake, and you guys should be very proud of yourselves, because that's not an easy app to create, right? So, when you want to create apps in the future, Shay and I have built a React skeleton for you guys. Right? Again, don't recommend you start using Snake, because there's a lot of stuff in there. You know, you don't want to deal with stuff, right? But now Shannon's going to come up, and she's going to talk you guys through how we rebuilt Catbook in React. You guys remember at the beginning when I said there are some things in Catbook that are very reactive, so take it with a grain of salt, right? But we tried our best. And what I want you to take away from this mostly is the way we struck the component hierarchy, where states, where comments live, things like that, right? The React router